So pocket break to hill.
That's crazy. I'm like arguing with trash cans, dude.
Fuck. I think
I'm literally arguing with
30 to low.
I'm literally arguing with 0.7s, bro. Like, out of my life coming with this,
You
bro.
shouldn't have just sat on near right there.
Like, I'm trying to argue with good players, bro. Like, can I argue with Shotzi? Why am I arguing with 2.7s? Like, I don't want to do this. This is a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time.
He's dead ass.
What
He's dead ass.
fuck?
Like I really, chat. I don't think
Am I on?
that he's saying these things to clip farm. I promise you, I don't think
No,
the
he
way he
died.
is talking, he is dead ass.
Bro,
He
this the motherfucker.
Yo, last one behind me. He almost killed himself. He ain't rage baiting, bro. That's the sad part. That's what I'm saying, but that is so sad. I'm not even gonna lie. That is
He's in a burning hole.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Borito Talk podcast. I am your host, still the #1 CDL analyst / content creator in the world. And man, we got a lot to talk about. And for those of you on video, I thought we'd try something a little bit different. Kenny's playing Apex right now, so why not, as an ode to everything that happened this week, just have his Apex stream on in the background as I yap about everything that went down this past week. I'm going a cappella. I didn't really take much notes. Basically, everything that comes to me is going to come to me, and whatever I forget, I forget. I mean, it is what it is. I don't really like taking notes when it comes to making podcasts. Unless I'm talking about a specific subject like the dissection of Atlanta phase or something. But when it's just acapella, it's acapella. But man, what a fun week, hey? What a fun week. And for those of you who don't know what happened, I mean, must be under a rock, especially if you're on my channel and you don't know what happened. So on Monday, actually, I guess we kind of got to go off Kenny's stream for this. So yeah, I guess that's already chalked. So, I forgot what day, actually. It'll actually show us here. On August 19th. So, what day is that? That's 5 days ago. So, that's like August 19th. That's Tuesday. So, on Tuesday, everything changed. On Tuesday, everything changed for me. And not in the ways I was expecting. Not in the ways I was expecting. So, I posted a video of a hypothetical situation with the topic of Shotzi talking about efficiency, because Shotzi always talks about efficiency. He started talking about it after he won, by the way. Not a coincidence. So he started talking about efficiency. There's a lot of players not efficient, and if you don't know what efficient means, it just means the least amount of wasted movements. Everything you're doing has purpose. And that's basically what he's referring to in terms of Call of Duty. And I brought up a clip to create a debate, a hypothetical situation. And I may have clickbaited a bit while saying these certain types of areas of the map, these are probably amongst the things him and Kenny had differences on. Like, I guarantee, actually, it probably was, but they're not going to say anything. So, I mean, even hearing Kenny say these are not some of the things we're talking about, I guarantee pace was definitely something brought up, like if I had to have a hunch. But obviously they're not going to talk about everything because everything likes to stay underneath the camp. So when I posted this video on Tuesday, it was on a Tuesday morning. I started doing like this trend thing. I like a lot of times I pick up on like things I start doing and then I enjoy doing them and I keep doing them. And every morning I just started posting, I think it's because one morning I posted some sort of gameplay clip and it went pretty big on it was either Zoom Mafia or Green Wall. I literally don't know which one, but it went pretty big. And so I was like, oh, I should start like posting in the morning. Like every morning, just post like a gameplay clip and leave people just to debate about it throughout the day. So that was like my new thing. Just post gameplay things every day or every other day, like fucking like whenever I get the clips, and just allow people to debate on it. And then after I get home from work, I'll like sort of peep through it, see what's been happening. So when I posted this, the last thing I thought, the last thing, and the last person, I thought maybe Shotzi would see it, because I was like trying to get some sort of attention from Optic by saying, oh yeah, when Shotzi refers to efficiency, posting the green wall thing, I was thinking like it might travel through, like, you know, it might travel through some things and make it into some people's ears. The last person, even though his name was in it, and I didn't even actually think about it, but the last person I thought was going to react or even acknowledge or reply to this was Kenny. And it was hilarious hearing his reply about, I saw this and I woke up like The Undertaker. I cried when I heard that. That shit was so funny. But yeah, all of a sudden I'm working, and then like sometimes in between work I'll go on my phone. I try not to go on my phone. I kind of just play podcasts. Like I have like an iPhone for work, so I usually just use that. But as terms of my personal phone, I try not even go on social media. I try to just like play podcasts all day and just like go through the day. I try to like leave like the YouTube stuff till at the end of the day. But like being like a YouTuber, I was also very cognizant, because I was doing it like a lot in the past where I'd post like a YouTube video and throughout the day I'd be like checking my YouTube. But I never did it with Twitter because I wanted to be surprised when I got home. I wanted to go home and just be like, oh, what the heck's everyone saying? You know, that type of deal. So I posted this, and then around like 12, for some reason I do this thing. Let me know if anyone else does this. I do this thing where on my personal phone, I'll like do some sort of tweet or post or like YouTube thing, and I'll turn off my data. Like I'll turn off my data for like half the day, or like for periodic hours, like 3 hours, and then turn on my data and just see all the notifications pop. For some reason that satisfies me. So I'll like turn off my data for like 2-3 hours and then turn it on and see all the notifications pop up, see what I missed. So I did that. So around like 11 a.m. I like turn it on, and then I see someone comment on my YouTube, because this is how like a lot of people like report things to me. They'll comment on a YouTube post or video saying, hey, da 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 happened, and someone said Kenny's like reacting to your tweet or something like that. So someone said like Kenny's mad or something, or they said something about da 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 da. And then around like 12 I like do it again. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Wait, so I was like 10 a.m. and then around 11 I kind of did it again, because I was like, what the fuck, commenting on my shit. And then around 11 I hear Zuma wants you on the flank from like a person on my YouTube. And then like 12:30 I go on my thing again, and it's like Dante and Kenny are roasting you on stream right now. And then I do it again at like 2 p.m. And I think this day I had a meeting. Yeah, it was a Tuesday, so like I had a meeting. So at 2:30 I'm here and they're cooking me. So I turn off my data for like the whole meeting, and then it's like 4:30 on my way home. And I just everything's blowing up. I'm going on Twitter now. I open up my Twitter for like the first time at like 3 p.m. I didn't open it all day. I opened it at 3 p.m. and I'm just seeing quote tweets, and fucking my notifications are blowing up. And I'm seeing my name on like COD clipped and like just all these like I'm seeing all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And then I'm like, I'm not even gonna react to any of this Kenny stuff until I go on stream. I want to be surprised on my stream. I want to go on my stream and be surprised, like, oh my god, like actually have a genuine reaction. So I wait and I wait and I wait. And then I see they're fucking roasting my gameplay, and I'm like, what gameplay did they roast? And like, I actually want to talk about that real quick. They picked probably, I was looking back on my thing now, because after they went through that gameplay, like the other day, I actually like go through my thing. I wanted to see how much gameplays I have, and I realized like pretty much all my gameplays are for members only, and they picked the one fucking video that was not. And it was like the one video I uploaded where it was like a day where I didn't really have anything to upload. I kind of just wanted to upload anything. And like at that time, a lot of people were asking to like see me play. I couldn't have uploaded like the worst gameplay, but we still won and everything. But I think they picked genuinely the worst gameplay. Like, they were better off joining my membership for 99 cents and getting access to all the good gameplays. Like, every gameplay on my members only is like a good gameplay, but they genuinely picked the worst one. I still fucking won all those games. And then the one part of the gameplay I saw, because I never went back on Dante's stream to react to it, was I was on P1 rewind and I was hard aiming blue and I went prone and I peeked back up and the guy came through and I missed some shots, but then I died and I was like, oh, bad timing. And they laughed like, haha, bad timing. That was bad timing, okay? I knew the guy because I'm a fucking minimap merchant. I knew the guy was going to come through blue. I just knew the guy was going to come through blue. In my head, I already pictured him. I'm the minimap merchant. I already pictured him spawning at P2, going through like the door, through the hallway to blue, and I knew. And then right when I was pre-aiming it, I went prone. And then right when I went prone, he came through. And I was like, oh, that's bad timing. But they're just like, oh, he just got shit on. But anyways, they picked probably like the worst gameplay. That's kind of been like the theme of the whole week, is everybody picking like the worst things to go look at and just making some sort of ignorant opinion. But basically that happened, and then I'm seeing everyone react to it on that Tuesday, and I can't even remember the timeline, even though it wasn't even that long ago, because just so much was happening, like so many fucking DMs, so many everything on everything, Discord, YouTube, Twitter, everything, fucking just everything, everyone saying everything, so many notifications, so much negatives, so much negative, so much positive. I was just, I just had a small, I'm like, wow, I actually caused some chaos with this, like 105 impressions. I know pretty much every pro probably saw that shit by now, but obviously they're not gonna like fucking retweet it and like it. But the thing I found most hilarious about this post on August 19th, the day where everything changed, the funniest thing is I don't think any pro that reacted to it actually got the context. And I explained the context, and I was talking about this on stream. If you're on my stream and you're hearing this Borito Talk podcast, you're hearing me say it again, but you know, there's some people that weren't in the loop. Like, I got some guys that came in like, yo, like, what the heck's been happening? Like, I've been hearing crazy shit. So this is just like a story for everybody. Bro, I spent the first minute and a half of this Twitter post, for those of you on video, for those of you on audio only, I made this post on August 19th. It was a clip from an Ultra Optic game of a scenario where Kenny was rotating to a P3 and he camped on the corner for 20 seconds. Everyone else around him died, and then he died. And the point of the video I made was he had all the information in the world to know that they weren't going to come from his left. So pretty much by process of elimination, they can only come through mid and like the other side on the P4 side. And the only point I made was him not being efficient enough, not doing enough, just sitting in the corner for 20 seconds. But every pro that reacted to this was on a different point. Like, wait, like they started talking about optics, fucking formations and everything. I'm like, dude, this is literally about Kenny and efficiency. That is literally the point of the video. But everybody that watched, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning in the middle of the day, like 3:45. I'm yawning. I think it just happens when I freaking talk a lot, but yeah, every pro that reacted to this was not even getting the point of it, and I'm just mind blown, and I'm like, wow, everyone really is dumb. I was like, everyone really is an NPC. Everyone really is an NPC. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was just like mind blown. I'm like, I didn't think everyone in the COD community was like actually capable of being like that ignorant, where they completely disregard like the point of a video, which I explained in the caption and for 90 seconds in the video, and people still aren't getting the point. That's just always mind blowing to me. But I get people want to create their own narratives, and I saw people like clipping certain parts, like just ridiculous stuff. And Kenny was on it reacting, so then I go on a stream and I react. And something I want to talk about when we talk about Benjay and Nassim, because everyone, dude, it's so funny. Hold on. Everyone's talking about Benjay 2.0. First of all, if you go on Benjay's YouTube, he's not breaking down any gameplays. I'm quite literally, it's like me, JP, and D-Real all breaking down gameplays, and I think Merc did it like early in the season, but he like barely did it. He did like 2 videos or something. But I like there's literally nobody doing what I'm doing. There's quite literally nobody doing what I'm doing. At the level I'm actually doing it at when I'm breaking it down. I should probably go watch like some D-roll videos because some people have told me he actually breaks it down like pretty deep as well. But I feel like I break things down like in a different way. But yeah, basically nobody got the points, and I go on stream and I react to Kenny reacting to me, and I hear and I see that they're making fun of me, and then they start taking to my hairline, and right when they started taking to my hairline, I was laughing because I was like, I just like don't care. I actually don't care. Like I gave myself a haircut and I fucked up, and I still went on stream with the bad haircut. That shows you how much I actually don't care. I could have wore a hat, guys. Like I could see like the corners I fucked up on. Like I could clearly see it in the mirror every day. And right when I gave myself the haircut, I could have easily just put on a hat. I got so many hats, so many toques. I could have put on a toque and just wore a toque this whole time, but I just didn't even care. And, you know, the second they started bringing up that and they started going for gameplays to try to, like, get the community, because that's basically the tactic that they were taking, is I think they both knew that they were actually wrong if they actually really fucking think about it. And they started going for, like, the low-hanging fruit at that point. And I don't really care, but they started going for the low-hanging fruit because they knew that, like, the people in the streams would be, like, sheep, because they all are. And they would just, like, watch that and, like, yeah, like, he is bad. And if he's bad, he shouldn't be giving criticism on gameplay. Ridiculous. It's so funny because everyone in the comments, I'm pretty sure I've made more money playing than any of them. Like, it's so crazy. But nobody knows because no one's doing the research. Everyone's just, like, seeing things and then, like, they just say whatever. Dude, do you know how many people like this year? Bro, so many names I'm seeing on Twitter are like fucking people I've like probably ran into ranked already and already beat. Like, you know, like like I just like I don't know, but like I've already known because I used to play Game Bells matches back in the day, and I would be playing like the worst of the worst. Like back when like GBXP was like a thing and everyone was playing for that, bro. There'd be times you're playing like a 28 and fucking 50 team. And they're still calling you bad. Like, they're, like, the worst players ever. They're 20 and fucking 50. But they're calling you bad, and they're saying that they're better than you. Like, and at that point, I just knew everyone in the Call of Duty community. And this is being dead serious. It's a very rare air of people that could actually admit that they're bad. But most people that are terrible at Call of Duty are never going to say it and never going to admit it. They all think they're good. That's why I never even argue about that stuff. Like when like random people are saying I'm bad, like you don't even know me. Like you don't even know me. You watch like a 30-second gameplay clip and you're like, yeah, this guy's terrible. I'm not fazed. I don't care. I got the numbers to back it up, you know? Like I don't even care. But they just started going for like the low-hanging fruit, and I was just laughing. So then like I start going on stream and I start reacting and I'm going rogue. And this is when like Tactical Rab, COD HQ, all these people, they take like probably like the worst 30. I mean, I'm not even gonna say it's the worst because I already knew like things were going to get clipped. Like I saw people in my stream as I was streaming that usually aren't in there, so I knew that people were just fucking waiting for something to clip. I just like knew it, and they clipped like the part where I was like reacting like the Ken, and I'm like, man, I'm just fucking arguing with a bunch of trash cans. Like I'm arguing with some dog shit players. I'm arguing with like a bunch of 0.7s, and that's the part that they clipped out of everything. But I wanted to talk about Benji because I keep going off tangent, keep talking about different things. So everyone is saying Benji 2.0, whatever, and I explained that. But then, so there's that time when Ben was talking about AG's gameplay, and then there's that clip of like AG on stream in the call with Ben, and he just straight cusses him out, and Ben doesn't say anything back. Like basically AG just shut him up, and I was like, if they think that's gonna happen to me, they got another thing coming to them. Like I even said this in multiple posts. I'm a real person. I live in the real world internet words do not affect me at all. Like, they just fucking bounce off me. And, like, yeah, if we're just talking about pro players, like, I am standing my ground. Like, I'm 100%, like, and when it comes to gameplay and I'm talking about certain things, like, everything's open to, like, interpretation. Everyone has, like, different ways that they would play a scenario. Of course. But then there's, like, those scenarios where I'm just like, I know 100%. Like, I fact checked this. I looked over and over and over again. And I think I'm just right. And I'm going to, like, stand my ground on that. And when people start saying, you just don't know what you're talking about, and it's like random people with no credibility, and even like some of the pro players like, oh, like he's a mini-map merchant. Bro, let's talk about being a mini-map merchant. This is the one note I actually fucking wrote down. This is the one note I wrote down. And it was about the mini-map thing. So I literally wrote this down. You can see on video. I said, it's not that hard to learn to track the kill feed and learn timings and what to do. Pros using Minimap Merchant is such a cop-out, I think, for lack of accountability because most of them still probably don't know how to multitask. Everybody plays COD. We all have, like, the same fucking minimap. So that's going to go more into, like, when we talk about Shotzi in the next segment. But when you take the time to really look at the minimap and how things happen, it is not as hard as pros are making it out to be to translate it in game. It's really not, especially when you're playing the game all day. Like, that's one thing. Like, it should be even easier when you're playing the game all day. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to read everything. There's some fucking crazy spawns you're not gonna be able to know where, like, arrow 1, arrow 2, arrow 3 is when, like, that guy gets a fuck. Like, there's a lot of things you're not gonna be able to read. But there's, like, pretty much 90% of the game you could actually dictate. I'm not gonna lie. There's just that 10% of randomness, but incorporating minimap knowledge into an actual game is not as hard as the pros are making it out to be. Like, they're saying, oh, when you pull up the minimap, you're an expert, you're doing X, Y, and Z. Like, it looks, trust me, especially on these maps in Black Ops 6, trust me, it is way easier than you think. Dude, this game is so simple. I'm telling you, this is literally the simplest game I've ever had, like, the privilege of breaking down and learning. This game is actually really simple. And I'm not surprised that a person that got slammed all year, like, is fucking saying this. Like, no offense. Like, that's not even me trying to rage bait. That's just me trying to, like, that's me actually saying that, like, it's very easy to say, oh, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Not because you had a bad year. So you clearly didn't understand the game. If, like, you can get a grasp the whole year, that means you didn't understand the game. No offense, not taken away from your decorated career, but it means that you just didn't understand the game. It's okay. Go to the next game and try to do better. Try to understand the game better. You know? It's not that hard. And everyone says, fuck, minimap. But I know, like, if we're not talking about pro players and we're talking about everyone else, I know there's so many people that don't take any time to fucking look at them at the minimap, and people ask me how to get better. Like, barely anyone looks at the minimap. Barely anyone knows what's actually going on. Like, I'm able to do my homework on the minimap, load into a game, and use, like, the small fuck minimap I have in my corner to see where my teammates are or where they are off the screen to be able to know where, like, X, Y, and Z are coming from. And when, like, you play, you also just learn, like, the natural timings. So add that onto, like, your minimap knowledge, and you could be a really good player. Maybe he just has to look at the minimap more, you know? Maybe that's all you gotta do. Like, it's really not that hard. These pros are trying to make it sound way harder than it actually is. And I promise you, in Black Ops 6, it is not that hard. Like, this game is so easy to read. Like, if I played this game 8 hours a day with all the time I spent watching the minimap, I'd, like, dude. Bringing up, like, the minimap merchant is just such cheese, because something I found out, especially how this year evolved, the more I was watching the minimap, when I would go spawn into a game, I just felt like I understood everything. Like, to me, I felt like I understood everything. And the only thing really holding me back was my terrible ping, my terrible FPS. But, I mean, that didn't really stop me. I was only playing rank. I wasn't even doing anything. I literally put 95% of my time into content. Content came first. You guys need to understand my schedule here, okay? Let me try to put things in, like, perspective, because people are like, oh, like, you gotta play more. So when you make a decision to be a full-time content creator, content needs to come before everything. Content needs to come before playing, because I've had lots of days happen where I'm just like, I'm just gonna play rank, or I'm gonna play Call of Duty, and you kind of play, then you're like, fuck, I got no video. Like I've had a lot of people like DM me, send me like a lot of kind messages like, hey, I really look forward to your videos every morning. Like they help me get through the day. I'll be going through like a tough period, and I just love watching your videos. I just love hearing you talk about COD. So I always have that stuff in the back of my mind when it comes to content. And I feel like I always have to put content first. And I just always feel like that in general, because I'm trying to be a full-time content creator. I'm not trying to be a pro fucking player. Okay? I'm not trying to be a pro player. I'm trying to be... The time I was trying to be a pro Call of Duty player was like a time when... how do I say this without going like too much into my personal life? How do I say this? So like obviously poor as fuck growing up. Had to share my console. And you know, my mom was just a single mom of 5 people doing like 2 jobs and everything, and you know, playing games all day when like bills had to be paid. Let's just say it was just like not the ideal situation, so you know, you kind of had to just go get a job and like, you know, do that stuff, because it like I was just like not in a scenario to just play games all day while my mom was fucking grinding, like, you know. So kind of like that was like the time, because like around like Black Ops 2 Ghost, like that's the time where I felt like, dude, I could run Worlds. This is like my 2 best games. NAW, so like 3 best games. But yeah, so like after that, but like being a pro Call of Duty player was never like my original passion, but I'll probably get more into that if I ever get on an episode of like Around the Bar, so Hitch, like bring me on. But actually no, it's never gonna work. I'm not flying to Dallas for that. Unless I'm full time. But yeah, so honestly, like my real passion was being like a pro soccer player, but that's something I'll actually talk about like in a podcast. But like the pro gaming thing, like just was like because I knew I was like really good, but it wasn't really like, at the end of the day, it was all means just to be like full-time content creator. That's literally been like my main thing like forever, is being a full-time entertainer, YouTuber. Like obviously I love playing the game competitive. Like playing games competitively is like the only enjoyment I have. Like playing games, I always play things competitively. Like game battles was huge. Like it was a way to be competitive and everything. Like S&D tourneys, like I love doing shit like that. But being a pro player was never like my number one aspiration in life, you know. Like that was like, it was like something for like a period of time, and like those like span of like Ghost, Black Ops 2, AW, when I was like really good and actually playing, like those are the 3 games I actually played like all year. But let me just take you through my schedule real quick, or just like a gist of it. So obviously I have a full-time job Monday to Friday, holidays and weekends off. But yeah, so basically I go to work. On an ideal day, I'll start like 7 or 6 and I'll be off by 2 or 3. But usually I'll be streaming or something and I end up being late, so I end up doing a little bit later. So sometimes it'll be like 4 when like I get home, and then after it's 4, I have to decide, am I gonna make a video or am I gonna hop on and play ranked, like, you know. And like that's when like all this stuff, like I know there's a lot of people that look forward to my content. I'm gonna make content first. Like what? Like rank's not even fun anyway. Okay, rank's not fun. Literally playing Hacienda Control like 3-4 times in a row. So usually when like I come home, I'm like, I'm going to make content. And the thing is with content, you guys don't understand, I make all my thumbnails, I edit everything, because things need to be edited my way. Because like even if I got an editor, I'm not even at the point where it's like even financially the right move to make, paying like an editor. Like I'm not even at that level yet where paying an editor would even like be a thing. But either way, I like to edit myself, because there's certain points and certain stories I like to tell, and I have like a quirky way of editing things. So I edit, I record, I edit, and I make the thumbnails myself. And you also take into account rendering as well. When you render, you can't really do anything on your PC, especially mine. Maybe on like a super duper PC, but I even think if you're on a super duper PC, you can't render and play because it takes up like all your CPU. So you have to record the video, and if it's a breakdown video, I may like watch it again. I may watch it again before I make the video just to refresh it, especially if it's something from like a week ago or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I like to rewatch it again just to get some points down in my head before I go do it again and then actually like record it. So that whole process could take like an hour and a half, maybe 2, like depending on the video. And then there's rendering. You have to leave it to render. And when you leave things to render, depending on the size, could be an hour, anywhere from an hour to 3 hours. If it's like a Borito Talk, or like an hour-long video, 2 hours, render minimum, you know? Or like a long episode of Borito Talk where it's like an hour and a half. Those take like 2.5, 3 hours to render. So if you think about recording an episode of Borito Talk after like a 4 p.m. day at work, you know, recording it for an hour and a half, then leaving it to render for 3 hours, that's pretty much like the whole day. So there's like no time to even play game. So I would leave a video to render, go to the gym, come back, it's like almost done or it's done, and then by then it's like 9 p.m. and I might hop on at 9 p.m. and that's pretty much when they caught that gameplay. Like it was a day where I was like leaving a fucking video to render, I go to the gym, I come back and I just hop on because it's like 9 p.m. at that point. I don't have time to warm up at 9 p.m. if I'm actually trying to play, so I just like hop right in and I play. So I don't spend 8 hours fucking playing the game every day, warming up for an hour in firing range, shooting bots. Like, I don't do what they do. So, obviously, my shot's not going to look good sometimes, most of the time. Because, like, I think even every ranked game I play, like, I just don't warm up. I warm up as the games go on. Because I think rank's not even, like, that hard. So, I'm like, I'm just going to use these kids to warm up, you know? Yeah, so that's basically that. And I pretty much prioritize content first. There will be like a lot of the times, because a lot of times I try to record on the weekend and record multiple things on the weekend. That way during the week I have a lot more free time to play. But then things come up on the weekend, you know. I also have a life. I have friends, you know. There's friends, there's females, like, you know, like there's things that come up. There's birthdays, or there's something going on, or there's something you want to go do. And it's summertime. The weather's nice. It's going to be winter soon, and I'm not going to go outside because Canada for winter, especially in the place I'm at, is not fun. And I will not be going outside. So there's going to be a point in time where I'm just not going outside, and I'm literally going to come home and make content. So I'm basically thinking I don't want to waste my whole summer just playing games inside. I want to make content. I want to go outside. I want to go do stuff while the weather's nice, because like the weather's not going to be nice for that long. So yeah, I go outside. I go do stuff, but everyone's like, oh, whatever. And it's so funny because it's kind of like a double standard. Like people talk about, oh, well, like you don't play the game, so why are you talking about it? That's this. You could use that same precedence for like any pro player that used to play, but now like they don't play and they're still making input. They're still making inputs on the game. Like you could make the point, oh yeah, where they were a pro player. But here's an example. Here's an example I want to give you, because people think you can't tell pro players anything, which is like a whole other topic that we're gonna get into. But let's just pull a random name. Let's pull like Twiz. I'm not sure if anyone remembers Twiz. If you know, you know. So you're telling me, God, I'm going everywhere with this podcast. I should be going on a timeline. Actually, I'm going to bring that up when I talk about fuck Shotzi. So August 19th is the day everything changes. And then August 19th, I'm reacting to Kenny. Then the next day, they start posting Kenny's reactions. And then I'm not Benjay, you know, I'm not just going to like, you know, pro player chirps me. I'm not just going to like, you know, back down. I'm actually going to say something. Going to stand 10 toes down every single time. So then I reply in the Zoo Mafia this time. Because I have ears everywhere. I got people saying, oh, yeah, hey, like they're talking about you over here. It's fucking incredible. So yeah, I had a person fucking sending me clips, like Octane clip in. Everyone's sending me clips. And people clipping and everything. And then, so August 20 is like basically like the reaction day. It's the day where everyone starts posting like, oh, Burrito's arguing with Kenny. Kenny's arguing with Burrito. You know, that's August 20. Then August 21, Breaking Point makes the Breaking Point podcast. And they're talking about shit. Actually, I think they're talking about on the 20th. Okay, they talked about on the 20th too. So 20 is the day where everyone's reacting to it. So 21 is the day where I react. Because on the Breaking Point podcast, Temp and Trey probably had an all-time stinker in terms of relaying proper information and having good opinions. It was probably like an all-time low for them, honestly, in my opinion. It was all-time low. So I even made like these tweets about it because obviously I'm in a position where nobody knows. Like, people are now just starting to find out about me. Like, they don't know me like most of my YouTube community knows me. Like, they don't know everything. They don't know all the content I've done like throughout the years. Like, they don't know like the stories I've been telling and the things I've been saying. All they know is like what they've seen right now. So instantly, fucking Temp, like, first thing he says, oh, he DM'd Kenny to play Apex. Kenny didn't reply. 3 days later, he got butthurt and he made this analysis video about him. Come on, man. Like, that is bad journalism. And the worst part is, like, Breaking Point put Temp had some inside information on the Kenny versus analyst beef. There is no inside information, brother. We got no mutuals. I didn't talk to anybody about this. Like, there's no way he would even know any inside information of what I'm thinking. Like, I didn't tell anyone anything about anything. Like, so, like, that was just propaganda. And so I had to defend myself because, you know, if you're a newer YouTuber or, like, a newer person in the scene, you have to, like, always, like, whenever someone says something bad about you, you have to go out of your way. Like, I didn't want to reply to all this, but I felt like I had to. Have to reply to everything. I can't just, like, have this narrative of, oh, he DM'd 3 hour long or, like, oh, yeah, he was, like, butthurt and everything. I cannot just have that be, like, a thing. So, you know, have to have my narrative. Got my narrative across. And then I even made this post on the 21st as well, where I talked about when you're a podcaster, you have to do your research before you talk about things, because all they're saying, how could you be an analyst when all you do is fuck negative stuff? It's like, brother, you just got to go through my YouTube catalog. You don't got to look at the videos. You can just look at the thumbnails and the titles. There's positive and good. When people do things really good, I talk about it. When people do things really bad, I talk about it. It's like, come on. Like, that is just like pathetic fuck journalism. I think Trey and fuck Temp had an all-time low on that show. Like, really, 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 really bad. Like, really, really bad. Like, actually lost some respect. Because it's like, at that point, it's pro players being ignorant. It's pro players now all just, like, siding with pros. And it's so funny because everyone talks about wanting this scene to grow. Everybody talks about wanting this scene to grow. But the second a new person comes on and they aren't saying things the way that they like, everyone is hopping on the train to try to keep that person down, aka me. So if you look at, like, some of the people who've, like, sort of came up in the scene and are getting, like, somewhat ins with like the pros. So, like, if we talk about Jake Maverick, he's not really in with the pros, but, like, some pros bring up his name. Jake Maverick spreads nothing but positivity. So, realistically, you spread nothing but positivity, you know, everyone's going to be nice to you because you're not saying anything bad. And then, like, you see, who the fuck else? Is there any, like, Chelly? I mean, I don't really know what Chelly says. Like, I know he doesn't play. I don't even know what he does. But he's just, like, friends with them. And it's so funny because, like, he'll say players are, like, fuck terrible or bad. Nobody bats an eyelash because they all know him. You know, they're all friends. It's like there's actually a friendship league with inside the Call of Duty community as well. It's not just in the actual Call of Duty league, but within the Call of Duty community is a friendship league. And there's, like, people not wanting other people to get somewhere if you don't say something that they don't like. But I think something people need to realize, bro, if you're just like, we're in the limelight here. Like, you're an esports professional. You're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to play a fucking video game. And it's a game now where now we're seeing like the mini map. We're seeing analysts on a desk talking about things. These are stuff that you should be expecting to come along. Like, the main thing about Call of Duty, like pro Call of Duty, is talking about the gameplay. And nobody is talking about the gameplay except for like on like the actual like Call of Duty League streams, and they talk about it in like 2-minute fucking segments. But nobody talks about the gameplay. Nobody sparks conversation. And that's where I feel like I come in. Because they're not used to this. Pro players are not used to having, especially, because we talk about this all the time. Attack Rabs even like said this, like, pros don't want to hear criticism. Everyone said that, even pro players, even Kenny's saying it, like, everyone's saying it. Like, pro players don't like to hear criticism, especially from people who haven't been a pro player. But some of you just got to realize that's just if we talk about sports, guys, talk about sports. It's so normal in sports, it's not even a big deal. So I'm going to bring up an example. Maybe some people will get it, maybe some people will don't. So even today, so Manchester United drawed Fulham 1-1. Ruben Amorim has now coached 29 games and he's got 28 points. So he's played more games than he's gotten points. Very bad. And everyone on Twitter is talking about how like he should have done this with the formation. How do you buy like an 80 million pound striker? He's on the bench. Like, you know, these are all normal opinions. Nobody's saying, oh, you haven't been a pro soccer player, you can't have that opinion. Like, this is normal stuff around the world. But pro players just aren't used to it yet. And you know what? I'm making that shit normal. I'm literally going to make this stuff normal. Like, being able to talk about something that you love and give an opinion, tactical analysis. There's lots of people who haven't been pro soccer players that have great takes on soccer. Like, oh, like, how come you didn't sub this person on? Like, it was 1-1. You're bringing on 2 fucking defenders when you have like all the attackers on the bench. You know, there's a lot of good points people bring up, and it's not like anyone's saying, "Oh, well, you haven't played soccer, so like what the fuck do you know?" You know, no one's saying that. It's just like a normal thing to like talk about the thing that you love, talk about gameplay and everything. So coming back to esports, I understand these pro players just aren't like athletes or anything. Like, they just don't know how to take criticism. And this is why I'm going to make this shit normal. I'm making this the new norm. They're going to have to get used to it because I'm not going anywhere. And I talked about this before, but I'll talk about it more at the end. But the only thing that's really changed, it's like, yeah, there's been a lot of negative, like so much negative. But there's also been like a lot of positive, you know, there's a lot of people that actually are able to see both POVs and not just be a sheep and hear what pro players are saying and just build your opinion off of that. Cause that's what a lot of people have been doing. There are people who have actually offended me. But God, I forgot where I was about to just make a grand point there. I was literally about to make a grand point. I keep forgetting everything I'm about to say. I just yap. I could yap forever. I was like, this is probably going to be like a half an hour podcast. No, it's not, buddy. We're going a little bit long. So throughout all the negative and all the positive, only one thing has changed, guys. Only one thing has changed. And that's everybody knows the name Borito now. Everybody. That's the only thing that's changed. There's negative and there's positive. But the only thing that's really changed is now everybody knows who the fuck I am. And when I look back at the beginning of the year of where I was with like 400 subscribers and now like over like 3.5, a lot more impressions, a lot more views, a lot more notoriety. People in the scene now knowing who I was, which is literally the whole point, was making analysis on pro players and the pro Call of Duty community and them all seeing it. And now everyone's seeing it. I'm having coaches now, like, fucking reaching out and shit. And just like being positive. And it's so funny. That's also another thing. Every coach who's reached out and talked to me or just said anything about me on stream, the coaches are never negative. It is literally only the players. And there's a reason, because the players are the ones getting criticized. The coaches aren't. Every coach thinks it's like perfectly fine. To my knowledge, I'm not saying every coach, but the coaches I know that have talked about me or talked to me, not one of them has anything fucking negative like to say, unless they just didn't fucking tell me. But then, I mean, I don't even know at that point. But yeah, so it's all like a pro player thing. And the only thing that's changed is now everyone that knows my name. And if you asked me at the beginning of the year if I would be in this position at the end, I probably would have told you yes, because I literally said I'm just trying to get my name on the map, and by God, I actually ended up doing it. Maybe got my name on the map in an unceremonious way, but got it there nonetheless. Every publicity is good publicity. And now my opinion, I feel, holds a lot more weight. And hold on, I'm actually going to elaborate on that. So right now, it might feel like everybody, or not everyone, or there's a lot of people against me, or whatever you want to say, but time is going to heal all wounds. And you want to know what? Time's going to go by, the dust is going to settle, and then we're going to go to Black Ops 7, and now it's like I'm going to start making opinions, and now people are actually hearing it, and people are going to start reacting to it more. Like, that's just how I picture it's going to go in my head. It's like everything is going to go back to the way it was, except now, some people may not like me. I don't really care. That's just a part of the gig, because like not everyone's going to like your critiquing their gameplay, and I understand that. But I mean, if they can't separate content and sparking like debate in the community, trying to make things interesting, then I mean, I don't know what to tell them. Like, everyone can't be sunshine and rainbows. Like, everyone is just sunshine and rainbow. Like, we need to spark some debate. I am lit. Like, guys, I literally carried the Call of Duty community like this week. Like, I never thought this year that was actually going to happen. I never thought I'd even be saying those words, but I legit was the one exciting thing about Call of Duty, the pro Call of Duty community, this whole week. Like, this week of August 19th was my week. This is the week of Borito. Everybody talks about me. I'm on Breaking Point. Everyone's talking about me. Zoom is talking about me. Shots is talking about me. Optics talking about me. Flycast. Everywhere. COD Clip. Headquarters. Everyone. Everyone's talking. Attach is talking. Temp's talking. Everyone's reacting. Everyone's reacting. Everyone's reacting. Gave people something to talk about. And it all stemmed from a gameplay clip. That's always what I've wanted. That's always what I've wanted. The year of Call of Duty ends and nobody talks about anything anymore. Everyone's all playing Grand Theft Auto, Counter-Strike. I'm trying to keep the Call of Duty community alive. I'm trying to give people something to talk about. There's still so many aspiring pro Call of Duty players, or people that just like Call of Duty and want to play Call of Duty. Nobody talks about Call of Duty. So the one interesting thing I'm doing is bringing up gameplay clips, sparking debate. Oh, he should have did this. He should have did that. What do you think would have happened here? What is there an argument between players? Like, I'm sparking a debate based off of gameplay. I'm keeping things interesting. Nobody talks about gameplay like this, and nobody tries to spark debate because everyone's trying to be super nice to everybody. Everyone's afraid to say something and like burn a bridge, and I can understand that when like you're already like in like the circle, you're not trying. But like, people need to understand this is content at the end of the day. This is entertainment at the end of the day. And yes, I stand 10 toes down on pretty much everything I say. But I could also accept fucking like whenever I'm wrong too. But basically, like, the whole point is that this game is so boring. This game is so boring, and I'm making it interesting. It's a two-gun game. They GA everything. It's boring to watch. Like, this shit is literally boring to watch. Like, I'm the only person that actually like enjoys fucking watching this shit, because I found something to do. I found a niche that I love doing. And I've been doing it for years now, like really hardcore focusing on it. But it's interesting for me to watch. Like, I love watching Call of Duty. As long as there's like a codcaster and a mini-map there and good players playing, or just anyone playing, I could spark a debate, a conversation on anything, and I could make it interesting. But this game, for a majority of people, boring to watch. We're watching like the same maps, the same guns, everything's GA'd. It's so boring. Like, this shit is so boring. I'm literally making it interesting talking about gameplay. So, you're fucking welcome. You're welcome. You may not like it now. You may not like to hear it now, but trust me. It'll all make sense soon. It'll all make sense soon. I promise you. It'll all make sense soon. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. That's all I've really wanted. That's my whole gimmick is talking about gameplay and sparking conversation. It's on my YouTube description. Giving an interesting perspective on sparking like debate. That's my whole MO. And I'm glad it's fucking working, and I'm going to keep doing it. And pro players and just everyone is going to have to understand this is content at the end of the day. It's not personal. The same way when sports analysts are talking about people like, oh, like, you know, like maybe you should have held the rear naked choke differently, or, oh, you know, like, how come you didn't pass to this person in this scenario, like, da-da-da-da-da. It's like, it's not a personal attack. We're just talking about the game that we love. Like, I'm talking about the game that I love, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just talking about the game. If people want to take it personally, you're just not a real person. You're just not a real person. Because, like, how are you going to take that personally, you know? I mean, I could get it if you take it personally. It's, like, your actual livelihood, aka the pro players. But, like, everyone else in the community, like, why are you guys taking it personally? Like, the fuck? Like, that's weird. Like, even then, even athletes already know. Like, these analysts are just, like, they have a job to do, and they're just doing their job. And that's essentially what I'm trying to do. No one talks about Call of Duty. Not one person. Every analyst in the Call of Duty League is on vacation right now. Like, you know, they're all playing whatever games. I'm literally, like, the only I'm not going to say the only person, because I think, like, even, like, Gadiro's still making, like videos. But I'm literally the only person still talking about Call of Duty gameplay when the year's over. I'm trying to make this shit interesting. I'm trying to keep this shit going until fucking November, you know? You know, so there's always going to be, like, a lot to talk about. I'm still going to talk about Call of Duty. There's still, like, so much to talk about in my eyes. I got a lot more things to bring up. Because all everyone talks about is just roster mania, and that's it. I'm keeping this shit interesting. But going on with, like, the timeline. So, let me just take a sip of my water real quick. On this solo edition of the Borito Talk podcast. I mean, every fucking version is fucking solo. But, so yeah, Trey and Temp start saying some dumb shit. And then August 21. So just like day after day, something's happening. August 19th, I make the thing. Dante Kenny reacting to it. Next day, everybody's reacting. Everyone's posting things. Burrito, the analyst, is on here. He's on there. He's on ESPN front page. And then August 21st, the main character shows up. The final boss shows up. Shotzi, the face of Call of Duty, now enters in like the conversation. And the one bad thing he says is the one thing that gets clipped, and of course it's the one thing everyone's gonna run away with. And I was just like, of course. And I was even talking about with, like, my Discord. I was like, if he says one bad thing, like, that's just gonna, like, make a lot of people turn. And that's all you needed to do. Even him just saying under his breath, like, yeah, this guy's brain dead. All you need to do was say that one thing, and someone's going to clip it, and that's what they're going to run with. And that's what they ran with. And 262,000 views. And yeah, so I knew, like, the second Shotzi said this and I was to reply to it on the green wall, I already knew, like, they're probably gonna just, like, take me off the community. I already knew it. And lo and behold, and that goes to another thing. Whoever's in charge, whoever's, like, the moderators of that shit, y'all are a bunch of pussies. Like, all of you guys. I don't know who any. I think I know one guy. I think Caesar Season, maybe. I don't even know. Whoever the moderators are, whoever the specific moderator was that was like, okay, we got to get Burrito out of here. You're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking pussy. You are a pussy. At me, brother. You're a pussy. Because I didn't say anything bad here, and they just decided, like, to kick me, like, oh, like, is he saying something fucking negative about Optic? Like, come on. This was not, like, this was the last thing. And this was, like, really what reiterated it in my head. Like, everyone is trying to create a narrative and run with it, and no one wants to hear the actual logical truth. And that's when I knew. Because fucking Shotzi called me brain dead, and apparently I was supposed to just lay down and not say a word. But I was like, I have to say a word. I can't just allow him to say I'm brain dead and no one else da-da-da-da-da. So I go And there's a lot of people, I didn't even like read the replies. Honestly, didn't read it. But I wrote this long paragraph, and I already knew there's going to be people like, well, oh, holy essay. Fuck, I don't want to read that because, you know, half these people never even, these people fucking failed English class. These people don't even know how to read past grade 2 level. So I can understand. But so Shotzi brings up probably the one video. Okay, the one video, by the way. The one video, probably the only video I wouldn't have wanted him to see, because like at this time when I posted this, so this was the difference between a B tier Shotzi and an S tier simp. At the time the video was made, fine wine, aged like fine wine, absolute fine wine, by the way, absolute fine wine, aged like fine wine. But now that they won fuck back to back, and then you go back and you watch that, it looks like I was like, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But at the time I posted that, I was the smartest person. I was like the smartest person in the world. And if Optic never went back to back, he would not be looking. He would not be opening this fucking video and saying the same shit. I can tell you that. So I understand that, but nobody else does, because nobody else thinks. Everyone else just narrow-minded. Just, I'm gonna believe this way and not even hear the logical way, and I'm just gonna run with that. It is fucking mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. And I just have to sit there and accept that everyone's fucking dumb and they just ran with this narrative and I can't do anything about it, you know? So he reacted to this S tier, B tier Shotzi thing. And then I don't even think they really understood. Like, they were paying attention to what I was saying, and then they kind of just like skimmed through it. And then I went and I explained this. So I'm going to read out to you what I said, because a lot of people hold the essay, but now it's like an audiobook, so now you're just hearing me talk. I said, super unfortunate that out of hundreds of videos he could have pulled up, he chose a 50% rage bait one. But for context, there was 5 seconds left on P2, on red card, by the way. There's 5 seconds left on P2. They got 4 down. 14 total seconds passed by after that, in brackets, from the end of P2 going into P3. And in that time, Hook got 2 guys mid, and Shotzi, rightfully so, was around Hook to make sure they secured top spawns. The point of the video was reading pressure. And after they got those 2 kills, Shotzi ran from hedges to go check P1 again, when now we were 12 seconds into P3. My thought process was, you're playing phase, 15 seconds passed by, you cleared P1 twice and stage already. The last 2 guys would have already been on the P3 side, unless they chose to just put their controllers down the whole time. You can argue armchair quarterback all you want, I don't care. In pretty much all my videos, I explained beforehand how it would have been hindsight and how pro players would use the information in the game to read whatever the situation was. Whenever it is hindsight, I say it is hindsight. People just haven't really watched enough of my videos to know that. And to be honest, Optic sucked at red card majority of the year, and one of the small reasons was their setups not correlating what the pressure was at specific times. I said at the beginning of the season, when I thought they played their best red card before getting murked, that they were a few tweaks away from being the only team to dog walk LA Thieves on that map. If they watched a few of my red card breakdown videos, I'm sure it could have helped. But I could understand him saying brain dead, because it's one of those situations that could be unfair to critique. I could admit that. But I did my best to explain the whys. It's just incredible when fans get mad about but I don't even care about them. Just brave enough to say my opinions on a stage. I don't even know what I wrote there. I will commend Shotzi though. He went from being a B tier player making B tier plays majority of the year to being the smartest sub in the game. At the end of the year, his arrow looked like it knew everything going on and more than anyone else on the map. Some of the best COD ever, so nothing but respect. Getting people to still talk about gameplay in the offseason and debate about it is my main objective, and I'm glad we are, no matter how toxic. More gameplay clips to come in the next week. Holy cow, I can't even read my own thing. But for some reason, this was enough to get me banned from like the green wall thing. I was actually mind blown. But even on the topic of like Shotzi and everyone talking about it, because I knew if he said one bad thing that all like the stupid Optic fans were just gonna run with that. Because I've been arguing about, like, this is no Optic is Call of Duty, okay? Call of Duty revolves around Optic. Optic is the team in Call of Duty. They're the main talking point. They carry the scene with content. Great organization, great personalities in the organization. But that fan base, I'm telling you, that fan base is really bad. And I know even people on Optic would say it, but obviously they're not for PR reasons. And even Hex likes to say, like, those people aren't really actual Green Wall fans, but to the true ones, is like he always says. But all it took was for Shotzi to say one negative thing for my DMs to now go like 50-50 to now, oh, you monkey, you N-word, you don't know what you're talking about, you deserve everything that's coming to you in like the negative way. Just everyone. The second he said this one thing, now all of a sudden, this portion of Optic fans is all of a sudden offended. For what reason? Like, you know, all of a sudden everyone just talking and yapping and saying things and just throwing crazy verbiage my way. And I'm just I'm like, these guys aren't like, these guys are not real people. Like, holy cow. Like, holy cow. And it makes me think, so what would have happened if Shotzi said, man, like, this guy's fucking like the greatest. He's like, holy shit, this guy knows what he's talking about. What would those same people that have said something negative, what would they say then? A bunch of sheep. A bunch of sheep. These are people that can't form their own opinions, and they just like go off of what like the Lord Savior Shotzi says. You know, come on. It's actually like really pathetic, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's pretty much like the timeline. And then, I mean, everyone was talking, like, Zuma gave his take on it. Zuma, apparently the only person that knew I was fucking rage baiting when I was saying I'm arguing with trash cans. Apparently he's the only person, and Ben as well also knew I was also rage baiting with that. But even like JCap, I see JCap on this CDL hater thing, because CDL hater posts that clip of me saying I'm arguing with trash cans, and JCap's like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, no way I rage baited this guy too. Like, come on. Like, come on. And it's so funny. It's because they don't know me. I feel like if the people in the Pro Call of Duty community knew me, like, all this stuff would make a lot more sense, and they would probably be way less offended by it. I promise you they actually would be. But nobody knows me. I'm an outsider trying to get inside. Or, like, not trying to get inside, but just trying to get in, like, trying to get in the same, like, limelight that they're in. Like, everyone talks about, like, we need more content in the scene. We need more content in the scene. The second new content comes, but you just don't like it, they're trying to put it down. But I am what the Call of Duty scene needs. Because the thing about the Call of Duty scene is, like, everyone is friends with everybody, so nobody wants to say anything negative about anyone. I'm, like, the one person who does not care at all. I will say anything about anyone. Obviously, I never take it personal. It's all just Call of Duty related. I don't go for personal shots on anyone. Like, that's just fucking ridiculous. That's completely against my morals and my agenda. I'm just talking about gameplay and Call of Duty related. And everyone's afraid to talk about people negative in Call of Duty context. Like, I don't understand that. That's weird. That's weird. Like, that's weird. And when everyone's friends with everybody, no one wants to say anything about, oh, this guy just, like, sucks, man. Like, I think this guy should switch teams. But that's a normal thing in every sport. Like, why did we have this guy on the team? Like, that's normal stuff, and nobody takes it personally. It's just the way it is. But I'm conditioning the Call of Duty community. I'm conditioning the pro players. I'm conditioning all the content creators that this is going to be the new normal. This is a new era of Call of Duty that we're entering, that I'm gonna fucking take these people into. I gotta stop swearing too, by the way. Gotta stop swearing. But this is a new era I'm gonna take people in. Like, the era where you can voice your opinion fiercely and it not be taken personal. And if they take it personal, it's just fuck content at that point. Like, I could argue with anyone. If I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. But if I'm right about something, and that's the thing that pro players do, because they know it's a card that all the fans are gonna just, like, go on, because, like, every fan doesn't think for themselves. Like, the card they're always going to go back to, every pro player. Oh, he's really not a pro player. What the fuck? This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And everyone's just going to be like, yeah, you're right, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's literally just, like, the norm. Everyone's going to say. Because it's, like, the most logical. It's just, like, the most, like. It's the most obvious thing to say that everyone's just going to go along with. It's like if fucking, like, LeBron was like, oh, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He hasn't played basketball. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, LeBron, fuck yeah, you're right. You know? because it's fucking like LeBron, and he's like literally like the best player in the world, you know? It's like that type of shit. So I can understand that POV, but I'm not going to let it slide. I'm opening the door for a new wave of people that actually have taken time over the years. I mean, if anyone like brand new comes in and they're just spewing, I mean, I can't defend that. But I've been watching and playing Call of Duty for over 10 years. Okay? I feel like I know something. I started playing as like an infant in like Call of Duty 4. Like I was playing super young Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty 5. I started playing then. I played like every Call of Duty, you know? And I've been watching pro Call of Duty even at the times when I was not playing and I was off in like the real world with like a job and everything, even as like a teenager going through my high school years and everything. I was still watching. I was always watching. I've always watched competitive Call of Duty. I've been watching this forever. So being able to say that a person that's watched for over 10 years and has played and has gone the lands and has won money at locals, like I didn't have a passport, so I couldn't go to America, so I could only go to places around me. Like I've won money. I played variant. I played lots of variant. I won tens of thousands from S&D. Like I've won a lot of money playing. So for a person to play and watch for over 10 years, he just doesn't know what he's talking about because he's not playing right now. Makes no sense. And I guess we're going to go back to that point about like Twiz. So like the point is going to bring up about Twiz. So like, Twiz is like a pro player. So let's say Twiz is a pro player, but he hasn't played or watched in over like a decade, and he came back in Black Ops 6. So let's say I'm hard watching Black Ops 6. I've been hard watching Black Ops 6 all year, but I've never been a pro player. But he used to be a pro player 10 years ago, and he came back in, and me and him were arguing about something. Is everyone going to say, oh, well, he used to be a pro player, so it's his word over yours? It's the same thing with now. Like, even with people like Karma. Like, I have all the respect in the world for Karma. Don't want anyone to take out his context. Like, my number 2 favorite player of all time. But with all due respect, he may have played Call of Duty at the highest peak and, like, knows a lot about Call of Duty, but we need to also take into account, this isn't like basketball, this isn't like soccer, where you're playing like the same game every year, you know? Maybe like formations, tactics change, but you're pretty much analyzing the same shit, you know? The same shit every year. Call of Duty, it's a different game every year, and yes, there's a certain way to play. There's certain fundamental things that you do that always stay no matter what. There's certain fundamental things. But in terms of the game, games are played differently. People do things differently in this game. So I feel like in terms of Black Ops 6, from watching and the time I spent playing, I feel like I know this game better than pretty much like 90% of like the people on this game. Just from like, I've watched. I wish I could tell you how much I've watched. It is ridiculous. Like, probably the amount that they played, I've, like, just spent watching. Even in my off time, not making YouTube videos. And Karma, for example, he does not play Black Ops 6. Like, he does not play Black Ops 6. He watches the scrims, and then he's off. Like, you know? I watch this game, and I've even, like, been on streams with Karma as he's going through gameplay, and I'm pointing stuff out that he's not seeing, and he's just, like, you know? Like, just kind of like, yeah, fucking, like, whatever. But it's, like, in the public's eyes, you can't argue with people like that. He's a 3-time world champion. What the fuck are you going to say to a 3-time world champion? That's how people look at it. I'm trying to show people there's a perspective you can look at it. Like, yes, he's a 3-time world champion, but in terms of this game, I put more time into learning how Black Ops 6 is played, so I could know more than him. Like, we can't just play the card of he's a decorated player, so he just automatically knows more than you no matter what. We have to take into account that, like, every year changes. So like if I'm just like always watching Black Ops 6 and I learn spawns and this and that, how certain spawns affect, I technically know more than like another, like, you know, that's how it should work. But like everyone likes to play the pro player card, and I already know it's just like the way it is. But I'm trying to show people another way of thinking, and there's another way of thinking, you know? Like, if, like, a Moho came back, because everyone's just going to say, yeah, you can't say anything because he used to be a pro player, used to fucking win. Like, he hasn't played in, like, 10 years. I've been watching now. Like, you know, like that's how it should be fucking looked at. And I'm trying to show people this whole like perspective of, you know, if I put the time into really learning this game, like I put the time into learning this game better than most people, just from like just watching, going into aids. I've watched so many scrims. I've been invited to so many scrims. I've done like a lot of coaching sessions. Like I've just learned this game and the spawns and everything and how players have to interact with others in order to, like, you know, get the best case scenarios. Like I've watched so much of this game, and I would hate for all that to be discredited by, oh, he used to be a pro player, so he just knows more than you. Like, people need to be open-minded to find like another fucking way to think, because it's like really, it's really bad and it's really toxic, and it really like holds a lot of people back. But I'm just trying to make the point that people can know Call of Duty and not be a pro. Like, I was basically a semi-pro, you know? I was basically a semi-pro, you know? I was basically a challenger player back in fucking Ghost. Like, come on. And, like, even... I don't even, like, fuck bring something up. So, like... So, like, even, like, the AG thing. So, like, I made, like, this gameplay fuck thing about AG. I think this is where it, like, really fucking started. I think this is where it really started. So... I made, like, this thing about AG. Okay? So, I made this fucking thing about AG. Like, this fuck gameplay thing about AG. And I had ex-pro players who, like, are playing in challengers and, like, just ex-pro players that aren't playing anymore reach out to me quoting this tweet saying, yeah, like, you're actually, like, really right. It's hilarious. And I swear if I was actually making this play right now, I would, like, not be in the league, but AG's able to get away with it. Like, multiple pros, like, fucking said this shit to me. Like, you know? So it's like everyone has like these like negative thoughts, but like everyone's like in a fucking friendship league, so no one wants to say anything, you know? They don't want to burn any bridges. But they were all making the point like, yeah, fucking AG was playing that really fucking bad, and if that was like me, like I would never hear the end of it, but it's AG, so AG's gonna get away with it, you know? Like they're kind of going like on that angle. So, you know, there's just like so many things that you guys like just like don't know, that you just have to be more open-minded. People need to be more open-minded to the fact that you don't need to be a pro player to know Call of Duty. Call of Duty is not a hard game to understand, especially if you've been watching it for over 10 years. Like okay, so Merc, for example. Merc started playing ranked MW3 last year. That was him playing fucking Variant, okay? For like the first time. MW3 ranked last year. So because he's now a Call of Duty world champion, EWC world champion, are we going to say like he knows more than Zuma? He's got a ring, you know? Like there's so many things. So many things. Like I probably could use like a way better example like than Zuma, but I bet there's players or even people who have like not won as much or were semi-pros that still know the game fucking better than Merc. And just because he won now, like you know, people need to take that into account. You know, there's just like different perspectives that you need to look at, and like not being a pro player to like know as much. You know, it's just a thing that needs to be said. I'm not sure if I even have anything else to say. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm pretty sure, for the most part, I kind of covered everything. If there's anything, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and we're going to close it out. Yo, guys, today's episode of Borito Talk is sponsored by me. No, okay. Today's episode of Borito Talk is sponsored by the Borito Takeover YouTube membership, the best membership on all of YouTube. For just $4.99 Canadian, you unlock a bunch of extra behind the scenes, extra breakdowns, extra analysis from yours truly, Borito. A lot of extra content that you will not get on any other YouTube channel for their memberships. Not trying to compare or anything, but it is the best YouTube membership. If you're interested in extra content, extra chill nights, watching breakdowns, analysis, so much good stuff in the archives, and so much more on the way from yours truly, Borito. So hit the join button, join, support the Borito Takeover on my road to full-time content. This episode of Borito Talk is sponsored by the Borito Takeover YouTube membership. Now back to the podcast. Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much all I got. There's probably going to be another Burrito Talk podcast this week, just talking more about rosters, because I feel like we're probably going to get some more answers when it comes to rosters. Talking about a BZ finally leaving FaZe. Thank God. But yeah, I mean, basically quite put, ain't no pro player, like I have all the respect for pro players in the world, but ain't no pro player gonna bully me out of making logical opinions because they can't see my point of view. Until people actually do their homework and they see my point of view, I can never take their opinion 100% valid, because I mean, they're just, and like there's just this pro player like mentality of just like, because I understand all these pro players and personalities and content creators have been friends with each other for like decades and years. So that's just like the boy thing to do. Take your homie's side. Like, you know, why are you not going to take your homie's side over like some random person? I completely understand. But it feels like some like high school thing where it's like they want this scene to grow, but they're not open to everything unless like it actually benefits them, because you know, you call people on their gameplay, all of a sudden it spins a narrative that can maybe make its way to organizations. Oh yeah, you know what, like this guy really doesn't know how to play, or doesn't know how to play, I'm gonna look for, like, who knows how they actually look at it. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep doing me. I mean, I'm not gonna stop making content. I mean, if anything, I mean, I'm completely flattered by all like the negative, all the positive. It's all very flattering to me. And even shout out to the people that reached out, like, hey man, like, I hope you're okay dealing with all the hate. I don't think you guys understand. Like, the second I turn off Twitter or YouTube or whatever, I'm in a different world. Like, I'm in a different world, you know? This is all this internet hearsay stuff to me, you know? So it is what it is. Obviously, I'm trying to be like a full-time content creator, but I mean, I can't be fazed by opinions. Come on. You have to just like learn. You have to teach yourself. It takes time, but you have to teach yourself to have thick skin. And I have very thick skin, I mean, I can get anxious when like I post stuff, but that's usually like beforehand. But usually after I do something, I don't have any regrets. It's always like the beforehand, like posting that analysis video of Kenny and like the optic ultra thing. I was actually like, that's something I actually never told you guys about. I was like, for some reason I had some sort of like anxiety, like some sort of nerve. It's almost like the universe was trying to tell me ahead of time, like this was going to be something that was going to be big, but I just like didn't even like, I didn't see it that way. I was just like, oh my God. Cause I was thinking, if you don't really know what I'm talking about in that video, it's going to come off as like a nitpicky, or this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But if you actually know and like see things through my POV, like you'll actually understand why. So yeah, so I was tweaking about that. I was like thinking, if anything, like I thought if anything, Shots was going to see it before Kenny. I didn't even think Kenny was even going to acknowledge it, but it was the first thing on his feed in the morning. Can you imagine that? And even hear like Karma say, yeah, this guy's been showing up on my YouTube recommended all year. Basically just confirms what people have like told me. Like I've had like people telling me like all the pros like see your stuff on like their YouTube recommend. It's not a matter of if they actually click on it or if they acknowledge it or not, you know. But like everyone's fucking seen. Any pro Call of Duty player has seen me on their YouTube recommended. It is literally impossible. It is literally impossible not to see at this point. And, you know, the only difference now is that everyone fucking knows me. And, you know, the chances of becoming a coach have drastically dropped. But, I mean, being a coach was not even my main priority. Is always being a content creator, analyst on stream on YouTube first. Coaching thing is a byproduct. If it happened, it would be cool. And, like, that's also another thing, like Temp said, and I cleared it out before. Brother, I know how to actually talk to people. I'm a real person. I know how to look people in the eye when I'm talking. Like, I'm not like no weirdo. And I'm not going to like be in the coaching room like, oh, you fucking idiot. Why'd you do this? I obviously know how to like tell people they did things right and what they're doing. Like, I know how to talk to people. This is just like me in a YouTube video, like showing my passion. Like, that's what it is. So the fact that people, and like that comes with people not knowing me. I feel like they have to get to know me and then you'll know what I'm really about, and you'll know I'm not like a random fucking weirdo like saying random shit. Like, you know, it's actually chill. At the end of the day, it's actually all chill. I know how to talk to people. I'm not gonna be like, oh, fucking Abuse, why the fuck you do this like all the time. I'm be like, yo, Abuse, like we did this shit very well, but like, yo, we gotta work on it. Like I know how to talk to people. But yeah, wow, what a roller coaster week. Made all the headlines, made Tactical Rab. I usually watch like Tactical Rab like every morning on like my Apple TV in the morning, like before I go to work. And how crazy it is opening up Tactical Rab in the morning, and you're front center on like the homepage on my Apple TV. It's like, wow, I'm on TV, even though I'm already on TV. Anyway, I mean, my YouTube's on TV, but how crazy it is, you know? How crazy it is. And from all the people who like actually watched me and went through my YouTube, I would have thought I would have got a lot more like followers and subscribers than I did. I thought shit was gonna go like way up, but I mean, you know, it went up, but not as much as I thought. I was like, dude, like the second Shotzi opened my shit's gonna blow. Didn't even blow that much. Didn't even blow. It was actually the opposite. I swear it was the opposite. And yeah, whoever came me from the Greenwall community, good for you. Didn't want to be in your fucking. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, guys, the Borito Talk podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Go on Spotify, watch. That's like the main thing I'm trying to grow Spotify, trying to do more cool topics of throwback things in the off season. I have a lot of things I'm working on for the Borito Talk podcast, including new graphics and animations, etc. But just wanted to give you guys a podcast to just show my thoughts and of everything like within like the week. Borito Talk Mondays is usually when I try to drop these podcasts. I might try to do like a Friday one as well. I will be live on stream. Follow my stream, Borito7o, on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube. And I mean, the Borito Talk podcast is on everything. I mean, that's really all I'm going to say. I mean, pretty much. Anything else? Oh yeah, and I'm a Twitch affiliate now. So, you know, if you have a Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime and you're not subbed to anyone on Twitch, you could use your Amazon Prime to subscribe to me on Twitch for free with your Amazon Prime. So don't be afraid to use that. You know, gotta use that. But with that being said, guys, this has been Borito. Bada boom, bada bye. Enjoy your work week. We'll see you next time.